It was 10 years ago this week that Hurricane Katrina ravaged the Gulf Coast. More than 1,800 people died and damage was extensive. In New Orleans, the levee system failed, causing widespread flooding. Since then, $14.5 billion has been used to strengthen the system. Joining me now from the Lower Ninth Ward in New Orleans is Audubon Louisiana Executive Director Douglas Meffert. Douglas, thanks very much for your time. Is the work that's been done on the levee system in New Orleans since the storm enough to protect the city from another storm?
It's a good start, but it's not enough. We have what's called a 1 in 100 level year protection, which basically means you have a 1% chance of the levees failing every year, and that's just simply not good enough. One way to look at that is if you had a 30-year mortgage, you would have a 1/3 chance of failure during that mortgage. And so we're much better off than where we were before, but we need ambitious but realistic coastal restoration in New Orleans, surrounding New Orleans, to provide a natural buffer to reduce the pressure on the levees and floodwalls.
And are those plans in the works?
They are. I mean, and Katrina catalyzed it. We have an ambitious but realistic 50-year, $50 billion coastal master plan that's been put into place. And it's $25 billion risk reduction, which is levees and floodwalls, and $25 billion in terms of restoration. So the plan is in place, and some of the projects have been built. We just need a long-term funding stream to really make it happen. It's going to take a while.
Is it likely that you'll get the funding stream? And if you could address the argument on the other side, and that is, why do we continue to build in hurricane areas?
Sure. Well, on the funding, we do have some existing federal funding streams coming into place. And for better or for worse, we're getting a jump start through the BP oil spill claims, both on the criminal settlement as well as the civil settlement. And so that'll be a jump start to implement the first part of the plan. Long term, we're going to have to be looking at a variety of federal, private, and state resources. And the reason this is important to your second question is that our coastal wetlands here in Louisiana are an economic engine that feed and fuel the nation. We have more tonnage in terms of commerce coming through our port. We provide 25% of the seafood for the United States and the world. And also in terms of oil and gas, more oil and gas come through our wetlands, and the pipes and the wetlands protect them than any of the other 48 coterminous states. And so the world needs these resources, so the world needs these wetlands, and therefore they need the communities and the cities that work these systems.
What lessons from Louisiana's efforts can be applied to other states and cities that are threatened either by a coastline that's disappearing or rising sea levels?
Well, we are on a collapsing delta, basically. We have the highest relative sea level rise rate in the nation, and so really, between disasters and the slower degradation that we've been having with our wetlands from the leveeing of the Mississippi River, we have a huge task ahead of us, but we're really the canary in the coal mine, so we're providing valuable lessons on what you can do with natural systems and what you can do with engineered systems like levees or flood walls or pumping systems, and integrate them into a tight package for long-term protection. And so we're serving as a model for other coastal cities, not just in the United States, but worldwide.
Douglas Meffert, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you, Rhonda.
I'm Rhonda Schaffler for The Street.